Do you ever wonder how some photographers create some captivating, dreamy images that seems to leap off the screen? Well, I've got a little secret to share with you today, and it's all about this magical tool right here. That's right, this is the diffusion filter, everybody. This is what people use to get their photos looking cinematic, looking dreamy, looking soft. Now you might be thinking, oh, everyone's talking about diffusion filters these days. But trust me, there's more to that than meets the eye. In this video, I'm going to reveal how this affordable accessory can instantly elevate your portraits, making them look like $1 million. There's no need to spend hours mastering Photoshop. We're keeping it simple and effective so you can spend more time doing what you love, and that is to capture some stunning photos outdoors. So stay tuned because I'm about to spill the beans on why I think these diffusion filters should be in your kit and why they're a permanent fixture on my XF33mm f1.4 lens, especially for all my portrait work. Reason number one why I use diffusion filters in my portrait photographies is it softens the model's skin tones. Diffusion filters help to reduce the appearance of blemishes and imperfections, creating a smoother and more flattering skin tones. This is especially useful for portrait photography, where the subject's skin texture is a critical factor. And this is great to help save some time in post-processing and having to do more work. I remember prior to discovering diffusion filter, I would spend a lot of time in Photoshop trying to fix up the skin tones, and I didn't like that. It got annoying and it got time consuming because you can spend like 20 to 30 minutes editing one photo, and then you have to edit like 10 to 20 more shots, and that's just going to take like the entire day. Another reason why I do use diffusion filters on my portraits is because it reduces harshness. Diffusion filter softens highlights and shadows, resulting in a more balanced and even lighting across the subject's face. This can help to eliminate unflattering contrast and create a gentle, flattering look. I like using the Black Pro Mist filter at the 1/8 strength. I find that the 1/4 strength is a bit too much for me. And what I like about the 1/8 is it just takes off that harshness that you get when you are shooting with a sharp lens. So if you ever feel like your lens is too sharp, try adding the Black Pro Mist 1/8 on your lens. Links are down below. Another reason why I use diffusion filters on my portraits is because of the dreamy atmosphere it creates. Diffusion filters can impart a dreamy, ethereal quality to your portraits by slightly blurring details while retaining the subject's overall focus. This effect can add a touch of romanticism or mystique to your images. It can also bloom the highlights, and this is great because oftentimes the highlights can be a bit too harsh in camera. This way, whenever the light hits the diffusion filter, it gives you that bloom instead. And this is what you see in a lot of old film shots and in movies and televisions as well. This is why Moment has their own version of diffusion filters called the Moment Cinebloom Diffusion. Now, I used to own the 20%, but I find that is too powerful. Even the 10% at times look a bit much. Another reason why I use diffusion filters is because it creates a consistent look in my portraits. Diffusion filters can help maintain a consistent look across your portraits, especially if you're working in varying lighting conditions. This can be important for maintaining a cohesive style in your photography. And this is the most important reason why I use diffusion filters, and that is because it saves time in post. Now, using a diffusion filter can save you time in post-processing. You need to do less retouching to achieve a polished professional look. I'm not a Photoshop expert, nor do I want to be, so that's just more time wasted in trying to learn the program and learn the software and get the hang of the software before I can make any real adjustments on making my photos look soft in Photoshop. Again, that just sounds like too much headache when all I really want to do is just take photos. Again, I can just pay $20 to $50 for one of these things and just put it on my lens and have that look ready to go for me. I think the time spent on photographing instead of photoshopping is much better in my opinion. Now, before I leave, I want to give you guys a list of recommendation of diffusion filters and mist filters that I've used so far. The Black Pro Mist filters from Tiffen are real good. The Black and Pro Mist means that they keep the contrast in your shots. Again, I use the 1/8 strength. I like my shots to look subtle. I don't like the 1/4 strength because that looks too much for me. Whereas something like this Moment Cinebloom diffusion filters, they don't keep their contrast and they make the images look flat and washed out because of it. If you were to get this, I recommend looking into the 10% or even the 5%. Again, I've used the 20% and I find that it's just too much for my taste. And then I also tried these 7 Artisans mist filters. If you're on a budget, I think these are good options as well. I think they look identical to the Black Pro Mist filters at a much more affordable price. If you want to see that comparison, you can watch that here somewhere. And if you're interested in any of these filters, I'll leave the links to them down below. But this Black Pro Mist never leaves my XF 33mm f1.4. You see that is shining right there. I got a step up bring on it because I was recording some videos earlier. It's been on ever since I got this lens, and that's how much I really like mist filters on my portraits. And there you have it. This is how you can make your portraits pop with just this one filter. Obviously, there's a time and a place to use mist filters, so just be aware that some people don't care for it. Some do prefer the sharp, clinical, sterile look, and that's cool too. This whole thing is subjective anyways, but like I said before, I like having on this Black Pro Mist filter because it just gives my photo that finishing touch that I need to make my photo stand out and look a bit different from the rest. But yeah, what are your thoughts? Leave them down below. And if you find this video helpful, make sure to subscribe for more photography tips related video like this one. Thanks so much.